All right, Raj is in the house Tuesday night. We got a lot to get to. The Kreuger show in the house. We got a lot to do. Gus Bradley, the next defensive coordinator. The Niners signed 14 players to reserve contracts. We got a lot to talk about. Lynch and Shanahan will address the media tomorrow in Santa Clara. If you had one question you could ask the guys, what would it be? We'll get into it right now. Let's go. Off and running on the Kreuger show Tuesday night. Happy Tuesday, January the 20th, 8:04 West Coast, 11:04 back east. Welcome to the Kreuger show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're soon to open in Petaluma in 2026. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. So get there early. Get some brisket chili. Tell them that Kreuger sent you. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger show. But we're off and running. Raj, the story of the day is there is no story of the day. The 49ers are officially in the offseason. They cleaned out their lockers yesterday. Tomorrow, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch will speak down in Santa Clara. What do you want to hear from them?
I want to know.
Is there anything that
there's a lot, obviously. I want to hear what their plan is on the offseason. What the heck are they planning? I mean, there's going to be, they can't tell us every free agent. Obviously, they got to work out contract stuff, but what's their plan, man? What do they got to do to get back? Obviously, we know health, but what's their major plan, right? What did they regret? What did they regret from the season? Is there any regret? It was a heck of a season. Nobody expected the Niners to get where they were. They ran out of gas. They got punched in the mouth by Seattle, but what do they think they can do to get back to, promised land? We all want the Niners to win a Super Bowl. We thought they were going to be able to do it this year, even though they were depleted, but just what the heck do they plan on doing? We all want O-line, the wide receivers are depleted. Lay out a plan. Don't give me a generic answer. Oh, we're going to do his best for Steve. Lay out a plan. Tell me what you think you're going to do. And also give me some information on this defensive coordinator situation, because man, losing Saleh again. Oh my God. I'm still not over that. That was rough. Oh, we saw it coming, but it was rough.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I want to hear is, changes. I want to hear what changes they're going to make, because if you do everything the same, you can minimize yourself right out of every issue. It's like, well, is it the receiving core? Well, it's not the receiving core. Is it McCaffrey's old? No, it's not McCaffrey's old. Well, is it the offensive line's not good enough? No, it's the offensive line's not good enough. Well, do we not, is it, you can always point and say, well, it's not that. I'm tired of telling me what it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there complaining, hey, the offensive line got their asses handed to them. Hey, it's not really the offensive line. The offensive line's pretty good. Stop it. Stop telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
Stop telling me the offensive line is not that bad, and then not running on 4th and 1, not running up the gut on 3rd and 1. That to me, that 4th down play call, and yes, was it kind of gamesmanship by McDonald to call a timeout at the last second and basically get a look at what play that Shanahan was going to run on 4th down. Yeah. And then Shanahan lost his mind over it. Okay. But is that all? That can't just be the crushing blow. Then the 49ers come back after that, and it's like they're 4th and 1. It was like 1 yard and 1 foot. And if you want to fake some option to the sideline and then have somebody instead come around with the fullback dive or the halfback dive, I'm okay with that east-west fake and then go north-south. I'm not okay with the slow developing east-west play to the short side of the field with your fullback against one of the fastest defenses in pro football. So they're too fast for you to beat them running it to the perimeter. And you obviously don't believe in Brendel and your interior to get a yard of push against their interior. then you're done. You're cooked. If you can't run between the tackles and you can't run wide, that means you can't run. If you can't run, you can't win. So isn't that the problem in a nutshell? I mean, we can talk about the wide receivers and we can talk about other things, but if you can't run, you're Kyle Shanahan. Running is the foundation of your offense. If you can't run for a yard against your division opponent, what does that say for you? I mean, I'm tired of them gaslighting us with this, we really like our line and this and that. Well, what do you like about it?
I know they say it every year. Oh, the line's good. And then Chris Forster, Brendel's the bee's knee. Like, we don't need to hear. Like, I get it. Those are your players. You're gonna support them. You're gonna speak up. That's your team. Okay, fine. But just get to the problem. We all have seen it with our own eyes. O-line has caused a lot of issues. You have Christian McCaffrey. You have Brian Robinson, who you brought in. You brought in Brian Robinson. You barely even used him this year. You could have used him a little bit more. And I mean, I get it. Christian McCaffrey had a phenomenal year. One of the greatest seasons as a Niner. Like, that was a remarkable season. But at some point, man, give him a little rest. Give Brian Robinson a little run, here and there. I mean, look at Seattle. I mean, and the Rams, they use 2 running backs. Like, they have a great running back. Both of them do. Like, Kenneth Walker's really good. They have, Kyron Williams. They're good, but they also have another guy to take some pressure off of the other guy, because this is tough. Injuries catch up with you and everything like that. So they brought in Brian Robinson, and I feel like they didn't use him enough. And then next year, he's not coming back. So they tried to throw Jordan James in like garbage time. You better hope he can do something next year. And Christian McCaffrey yesterday, when they were talking, you were there. He said he doesn't care what the team needs him to do. If they want him to run 25 carries, 5 carries, he's open to it. Just help the man out. He's the only one that stayed healthy this year, Larry, out of all the starters. And they didn't do him much justice in the end. So, and you're right, beef up that O-line. They got to do something.
I mean, if you look at Seattle, okay, they've got that fullback Utsis, who's like 270, and then they got Walker. Walker is their outside runner, and then they got Charbonnet, who's kind of their inside runner. And then they got Velus Jones, who's their special teamer. Man. Okay. Then you go to like the Rams, for example, and you're like, okay, what do they got? Well, Kyron Williams is their main back. Then they use Blake Corum a little bit as a second back, and they usually throw it to him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But they also have Ronnie Rivers, and they have Jarquez Hunter, and then so they have multiple backs. And then you go to the Niners, and they have CMC.
Great.
And then after CMC, there's no role for Brian Robinson. If I said to you, what role does Brian Robinson have? He doesn't have a role.
He doesn't.
He has no role. You just throw him in there whenever CMC needs a blow. That's it.
Like 5 times a game, maybe. But there's been a few games where he got the ball, more than we had thought, and he did great.
Yeah.
They couldn't utilize him more. And then you got Garendo and Jordan James, who
you got Garendo you don't trust. Jordan James didn't touch the ball between training camp and January. I mean, it's just you have nothing. You have no backs outside of CMC, and you just ran CMC into the ground, 400 plus touches, to the point where now you got to ask yourself, what's he going to be next year? He's got 400 plus touches this year.
Is he going to be the same?
If you look at his career, when he's had tons of touches, the next year is usually not very good. So next year would be that year. So next year, you don't know what you got in Christian. Juszczyk is going to be 35. And Kittle's probably out for the year. Should be.
He said like mid-season. I could see him coming back mid, but you're right. He probably it's hard to see.
He's a 33-year-old guy at this point. I mean, he's going to be coming off an Achilles.
Yeah.
Luke Farrell stunk. That was a terrible sign.
Oh God.
Braden Willis stunk. He's not a good pick. Tonjes is a good player, but
he hurt himself. We'll find out tomorrow what his injury was.
Yeah, I mean, is he have a blown out a foot, Achilles? What's his injury? So I mean, what do you got? And then receiver wise, Juwan Jennings, if he wants $20 million and he does, sayonara. And then Pearsall's hurt, and I had a person close to the Niner front office tell me that they're going to trade Pearsall.
Oh wow, Pearsall, sound the alarms.
And then you've got Demarcus Robinson, but then Bourne's a free agent. Sky Moore's a free agent. Cowing has never done anything. Jordan Watkins can't be trusted. Bergen, whatever, he's not
Junior. He got sent to the reserves. Junior Bergeron. He's terrible.
He's nothing. He's not an NFL player. So I don't care. I mean, you could be signed to the reserves. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, they can sign him to whatever they want. He stinks. Sky Moore's a free agent. Jordan Watkins is a player, but they could never get him on the field. That's their failure. So they're in a bad spot. I mean, what do they have for weapons? I mean, next year for sure weapons. Pearsall, who's always hurt, DeMarcus Robinson, Jordan Watkins, who didn't play, Jake Tonjes, CMC off 400 plus touches. I mean, it's Jordan
James. They got a lot of work
James.
to do. They're gonna have a busy offseason. Honestly, they got the money back. They got the money back from Ayuk, right? They're gonna have to use that money ASAP. Get a weapon. You're gonna have to make a trade. I hate to say it. You're gonna have to trade Mac Jones if you want to build that offense. I hate to say it. They're gonna have to trade him.
Oh, he asked to be traded. I mean, he basically said the other day.
He said it yesterday. Yeah.
He's like, hey, look, I'm good enough quarterback to start. In other words, I want out of here. I want to start somewhere. I want to go play. So, I mean, to me, trades are coming. I think I could see Ayuk traded. I could see Renardo Green traded. I could see Pearsall traded. I could see Jair Brown traded. I could see Mac Jones traded. There's going to be a handful of trades for sure.
He'll be busy.
Yeah.
And Jennings, he's probably going to Tennessee, man. Juwan Jennings is a Tennessee legend. I could 100% see him now going with Saleh out there in Tennessee. I think he'll go up there.
I wouldn't pay him. No way.
No, I wouldn't pay him.
There's no reason to pay him, and there's no reason to pay him if you don't have a number 1-2 receiver.
Yeah, he can't be your one. He's
not your one.
I like the guy. He was amazing. I love Juwan Jennings, and I wish him all the best. But you can't pay him to be your number one. You're going to need like a route running guy that can separate, because that was the problem in the game. Couldn't get any separation. That's been their problem.
Yeah, I mean, they were going up against a really fast defense.
Mm-hmm.
They have a really slow offense with a really pathetic line. I mean, Trent Williams, McKivitz, Pooney, they have 3/5 of a line. Burford's going to walk away in free agency. He'll get some surprisingly high deal. And Brendel needs to be upgraded. He's 34. He's 285 pounds. They need a 315-pound, center who can move somebody. They need more strength at the point. They can't sit there and just be like, you know what? We're not going to run up the middle. I mean, it's just, we're going to give the middle of the defense to Seattle. No, you can't do that. So they need a better offensive line. They need more receivers. They need another great running back. They need a tight end who can play a lot, because Kittle plays a ton, and the other tight ends are true backups. They need just a lot more depth. I mean, and they better hit. You know what I mean? It's like, if they don't hit on like 80 to 85% of their picks, they have no shot of being anything. And they're probably going to have to trade for more picks. Probably going to have to trade down for volume, and then they're going to have to hit, this, which is going to be very difficult to do. So
yeah, they've had some bad drafts, here and there. Like there's some good players here and there, but sometimes you look at those drafts and you're like, oh man, I guess it wasn't as good as you initially thought, and it's going to be crucial. And they have 7 picks right now. You're probably going to want more than 7 picks. And then what sucks is we don't even get a compensatory pick for losing Robert Saleh. Like, that sucks right there. You don't get nothing.
If they lose Josh Williams, will they get a compensatory pick in this draft?
If he becomes a GM, yeah. If he becomes a GM,
in this upcoming
no, it'll be
draft?
the next draft, I believe. It'll be the next draft.
Yeah. So I mean, they're in a pickle. Here's the ultimate question, and it's not. We don't know the answer. John Harbaugh had a good run in Baltimore, and he's out. Mike Tomlin had a good run, no losing seasons in Pittsburgh.
Crazy.
And he's out. Kyle Shanahan has been the Niners head coach for the longest tenure, I think, in pro football, right?
Right now. No, he's like one of the top. He's like top 3. I want to say top 3.
These guys have been given a long time.
Yeah.
Lynch and Shanahan. Now they've gotten to a couple Super Bowls. They've gotten to overtime in the Super Bowl. But the ultimate question is, how much time do they have?
That's a good question
And that
because
and that that makes me wonder, Raj, about like the way they handled this last year. Is it possible that Jed said to them, "Hey, you know, look, you got 2 or 3 years to get this done," and they said to themselves, "Well, if we only have 2 or 3 years, why don't we bite the bullet this year and take all of our dead cap and roll it into this year? We'll have $103 million of dead cap. We won't sign free agents. We'll save all of Jed's money. We'll go super cheap, and we'll make this a transition year." Um, and then what? Take 2 shots at it, and then if you don't get it, then you're out. At what point? These guys, it's the NFL. Nothing, it's not for long. They've already had a long time, so they can't say it's not for long. They've already been there a long time. How many years will Jed give them? How many years should Jed give them?
I think you got one more year in that. I mean, again, I love
One
John
more
Lynch
year.
and Kyle Shanahan. I think they've done great. It's been 9 years. You've been so close, but like you said, like you listed Tomlin and Harbaugh, two legendary coaches, and they're out. McDermott out in Buffalo, like he's a great guy. He was winning all the time, but he couldn't get over the hump. And the Niners, they're getting close. And I know there's injuries. Every team goes through injuries, but the Niners have been injured at a high rate. There's a lot of theories out there, power plant theory, Kyle Shanahan overworking, whatever you believe is the reason. Yes, it does, have an effect, but every team goes through injuries. At some point, we're going to have to look at the mirror and say, look, Kyle's done great, but is there somebody else that can get you to the next level? I don't want to lose Kyle. I think if you lost him right now, he'd be, picked up immediately. John Lynch. I think a lot of people are soured on John. I think if they're going to get rid of anybody, it would be Lynch because they've questioned him at the trade deadline, right? They've questioned him with his draft pick. So is John Lynch on thin ice? I don't know, but I would give him one more year. You go all in. You didn't make it this year. You get your guys healthy. They need to have a big offseason because we just talked about a lot of the issues they have. Pass rush, O-line, wide receivers. You got to go in and try to make a big splash this offseason. I get, look, you have to compete against the Seattle Seahawks and the LA Rams. They're still going to be good next year, regardless of what happens in the playoffs. And you have to compete against them. You would expect the Cardinals to try to be better, although they're going to have a new coach and everything. It's a tough division. And you got to really, really, really beef your team up to compete with those two teams. And I don't know, man, if they can't get it done next year, there's got to be a lot of questions. We've said that for a lot of times. And, the other thing is they had the golden opportunity, Larry. The Super Bowl was in Levi Stadium. At the beginning of the season, everybody said, oh, the easy schedule. Obviously, it was harder than we all thought. But they had all the makings to make a magical run and couldn't do it. So I know the injuries are going to buy them a little bit of time, but next year, we got to have a big year.
How much responsibility does Jed bear on the fact that, let's look at the situation. I mean, he sold stakes in the organization. They're hosting the Super Bowl. They're going to make a ton of money. Their net worth is over $9 billion. They found a way while owning this team to go purchase 2 different soccer teams. They don't like talking about it, but I mean, does he have to invest in a new training facility away from this power plant?
I think so.
Is that a thing? I thought it was reprehensible that they sat out the undrafted free agent market last year to save pennies. That was so fucking stupid. I mean, that was so fucking stupid. I mean, that was one of the dumbest things I think I've ever seen. You have an area that you're totally great at, that you're finding all these guys in that basically cost nothing. And just to save pennies, you sit it out. So I don't know. I mean, their best offensive player is, CMC. He's almost 30. He didn't even average 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
The tight end is 30, mid-30s and coming off an Achilles. The left tackle's 38, and there's no backup in line. The offensive line badly needs to be rebuilt. They don't have a number 1 receiver, and the guy that they do have wants money that they'd be absolute jackasses if they paid it to him. The fullback had a good year, but he's 35 years old and he played 500 snaps. None of their rookies got any meaningful time. Jordan Watkins, Jordan James, only Connor Colby got even a little run.
I forgot about him.
You know, you're paying Brock $53 million. I don't know. I mean, your offense, which is where all your money is, just got totally dominated by Seattle. Now, granted, you had some injuries, but still, I mean, you look how little. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is supposed to be an offensive guru, and he couldn't do anything at all at the end of the year against Seattle. So, I don't know. I mean, and they drafted some great players initially, right? They got Kittle in that first year. They got Warner in the second year. They got Bosa and Debo going into the third year. They got Ayuk in 2020. But when was the last truly great player they've drafted?
It's been a minute.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a very good chance they're going to lose both coordinators. I think Clay Kubiak is likely to get a
think he gets a head coaching gig, you think?
Oh, yeah, I do. And Mike McDaniel got hired today.
Yeah, he got hired today
by
with
the Chargers. He's going to be Harbaugh's offensive coordinator. So he's not there to ride in to save the day.
Yeah.
You've had you've gone from D'Amico to Wilkes to Sorensen to Saleh to, is it going to be Gus Bradley?
Maybe.
I mean, there's so much unknown right now. It just seems like even though Shanahan and Lynch are respected, it seems like their time is running out and their roster is getting worse.
Well, but that's the thing. So
better
every year, but so it's kind of like the gift and a curse. It's like, okay, you lose a lot of have a lot of turnover on players, right? You lose big veteran like last year, Greenlaw, Hufanga. We can go through the list, right? They lost a lot of players every year. And then they lose coaches. And that to me is the biggest thing. You lose all the coaches over the years, McDaniel, Saleh, D'Amico, and they're great. And they deserve to be head coaches. They've done so good. But if you keep on having this roster turnover and then coaching turnover, and you're getting to the playoffs, but it's just, you can't really build and stick and make this legendary run because it's every year something changes. So because of that, you give them a little bit more time. It's like, oh, well, you lost these players. Oh, you got these guys hurt. Oh, you got these, coaches gone. But at the same time, it shouldn't be an excuse because also you got to replace them with good people. So the Nick Sorensen was a fumble. So, then he went back and he got Saleh. He's like, look, save me this year. And he did. Now we're back to square one is if they got to get a good defensive coordinator. If they screw this up, is next year going to be another 6-win season? So then again, the question begs to ask is, okay, if they have a bad season next year, is that the end of the road for these guys? You know what I mean? So it's tough because you lose players, you lose coaches, but that's the NFL. And at some point, you have to deliver the goods. But I don't even think Jed cares anymore because he doesn't have any issues with the coach and the GM. He loves them, right? Before he had a lot of issues, right, with Harbaugh. And he's focused on other venues. He's making money. He's got, investors. He's got the Super Bowl. He's got, the World Cup. So I feel like Jed is like, as long as you guys try your best, I'm okay. But there's got to be someone that holds them accountable. And again, they've done good. Like they maximized the season to get to where they were with all the injuries. It's phenomenal. But at the same time, we want more than that. We want more than the Super Bowl. Like I was at peace with the way that the season ended because of everything, how it played out. But at the same time, I wish they were playing. I wish the Niners were playing this weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be sitting there watching these games and I'm like, Seattle and LA for a chance to play at Levi Stadium, Larry, that makes me so sick. When I saw that, I was like, that made me so sick. So yeah, at some point they got to make it happen because if Mike Tomlin can lose his job, although he stepped down, he probably would have got fired. If Harbaugh's out, Kyle Shanahan can be out. John Lynch can be out. So it's a big offseason. This is probably the biggest offseason of their tenure.
I like John Lynch, but I if I was Kyle Shanahan is a good enough coach to win if he just has players.
Yeah.
He doesn't have good enough talent. And I know people would be like, oh, that's crazy. The Niners have tons of talent. Look at let's just go back. Okay, today is if you go back just the last 4 drafts, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, 4 drafts, last 4. How many what I would call great players have the 49ers drafted in the last 4 drafts? Here's what I would give you. 2022 Brock Purdy. Nobody else is even close to great in that draft besides Brock Purdy.
Terrible draft.
22 Brock Purdy. 23, there's no great players there. D. Winters would probably be the best, and he's not great. He just totally gets engulfed in the run game. Too small. Jair Brown, no.
Oh, God. No.
That's 23. 24 draft. I like Bethune. I like Mustafa. I like Pooney.
They're not good.
But there's nobody great there. I mean, maybe Mustafa has potential to be great, but nobody's, no Pro Bowlers there.
No.
And then this last year, of this group, I kind of like Jordan Watkins. I like CJ West. I love Upton Stout. I would say Upton Stout.
I'd say Upton's
probably the closest to great.
But
So
great?
I'll say great. I'll give him great. We'll bend great, and we'll make Upton Stout and Brock Purdy into the great category.
So 2.
So in the last 4 drafts, the 49ers have Brock Purdy and Upton Stout. Okay. Impact players.
Wow.
Here's who Seattle has drafted since 22 impact players. Gray Zabel, Nick Emanwari, Byron Murphy, Devin Witherspoon, JSN, Zach Charbonnet, Charles Cross, Kenneth Walker, Abe Lucas, Kobe Bryant, Reek Woolen.
Pretty
a lot, dude. That's a lot. This is want to hear what the Rams have drafted since 22 as far as impact guys?
Drop it. Yeah, drop it.
Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, Blake Corum, Cam Kinchins, who's been very good. Agent Zero, Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Puka Nakua, Kobe Durant, who had 2 picks last week, Kyron Williams, Quentin Lake. So that's it. You want to talk about why they're playing in the NFC Championship game and the Niners season's fucking over? That's it right there. That is it. It's not about us. It's not about an electric station. It's not about, Robert Saleh was focused on the Titans and not the Seahawks. It's not, Brock Purdy's not good enough. It's not Kyle Shanahan's offense is too predictable. It's none of those things. It's this. This is it. And, we have a tendency to cover people's asses who we like, and we have a tendency to not cover people's asses who we don't like. And John Lynch has a lot of goodwill. He's a really nice man. He's a really solid person. He's as reputable personally as almost any player who's played football in our lifetime. I mean, think about it. He's a Hall of Fame player who played like a violent, vicious style, and won championships and did it with class. And so we like him. And, he's a great face of the franchise. But we always make fun. Nobody's yearning for Trent Baalke, but Trent Baalke drafted DeForest Buckner. Not solid.
Yeah, but every dog has their day. I think the Niners definitely are not great at drafting with Kyle and Lynch. And
so what's the answer? Do you some people have said, hey, if Eddie were still here, he would fire Lynch.
I think he would, honestly.
I think he would too. I don't know if he would fire him, but I think he would make sure that he was either getting the best out of him or he'd add somebody else into that room. I think a smart play for the Niners would be to bring in a really sharp outside voice, not an inside voice, not Tariq Ahmad, not RJ Gillen, not Josh Williams, nobody who's beholden to the current regime. Go get another independent top-tier evaluator and pay him to be in your war room in the draft season. and to have another set of eyes. I would go after a John Dorsey, but to me, that's the minimum. And then I would kick Lynch into more of a president of football ops role. You've got, you've got, you got the team president situation right now, but so you don't need another president per se. You've got a business president, but how about a football president? Who's somebody who's kind of does what John does anyway, right? He builds consensus, but then have a really sharp young personnel guy, whiz kid who you're going to listen to, and stop having it be this group project with all these analytics people. Guess what happens when the group is too big? You lose accountability. Because it's like it's us. Who's making the decisions? We are. There's a lot of safety in we. I don't want safety. I want accountability. I want to get some great young personnel guy. Where's their Brian Gutekunst? Where's their John Dorsey? Where's their football guy? Where's their Brad Holmes? Where's their Eric DeCosta? I want to see a football. They're not hitting efficiently enough. They're wasting too many picks,
dude. There's so many
wasted picks.
They just can't draft. Like, initially we're hyped up. We look at the draft and we're like, okay, cool. This guy's probably, like, we always say that after the draft. Then the year comes, and 2 years later, like, if you look back at the last couple of drafts, it's like, what the fuck were they thinking? And then the problem is, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I know you're like well versed in college football. I watch it, not as much as you, but I know the good players. I'll study during the off season, draft season and stuff. But there's times when the Niners, when they go and draft a player, I'm like, who the F is that? Like, there's times where I'm like, who the fuck are you drafting? Whereas there's like players that are known commodities, good players. People know who they are. They're well scouted. They put good combine numbers up there, and you're like, just draft that guy. He's probably going to be good in the NFL because he was good for the college, right? And they pass on him for some like guy that you have no clue. Oh, he's got good intangibles, and then they come to the Niners and they don't even play or they suck. So that's the thing. I don't get it. They try to make it too complicated. Just draft some good players, Larry, because it's tiring. Because they say, we're going to build through the draft. We need to get young. We need to develop our players. You don't develop your players. You're not drafting well. And you're not really building this team through the draft. If you look at, this year's draft, Jordan James, he played, like you said, he didn't even play until the last game of the season.
Could have had Kyle Monungai from Rutgers, who I was super high on. I loved, how many times did I say to you, Kyle Monungai? Cooper DeJean.
Man.
I mean, it's just and if you have this system that you're constantly building consensus, it's hard to build consensus. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't, some naysayer, and it's just like, to me, it just seems very, very problematic to sit there and be like, oh, we have our system, and it's like, well, you know what, your system sucks. Because you're wasting high picks. High picks. You're wasting high pick after high pick. I mean, think about it. It's not just that they've, missed on picks. It's like Nick Martin this year, with all the disasters you had in the third round, can't get on the field at all. That's a major fail. That's a third round pick. Let's just talk about day one or day two fails. 2024, Ricky Pearsall, Renardo Green. Those are bad picks. Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cam Latu. These are day two picks. Drake Jackson, Ty Davis Price, Danny Gray on day two. Yeah. Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas on day two.
Trey Lance, day one.
Javon Kinlaw. Jesus. Some of these picks, Jalen Hurd, Mitch Wishnowsky, round 3 and round 4. Dante Pettis in round 2. Tarvarius Moore in round 3. Those are day 2 picks on just donkeys, guys that can't play dead. And it's just, and then, so the other one is, now I mentioned the Pearsall, but here is the Pearsall draft.
It's so bad draft picks, bro.
And here's Pearsall up here. He's taken 31st.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, I was arguing for Xavier Legette, who's a bigger receiver. He's been stiff and hasn't done much. I also liked Lad McConkey, but the guy that, when me and you did lots of mock drafts, the guy that I was sky high on was this guy,
Oh, yeah.
Rook Aurora.
I remember him. Yeah. So yeah,
I was
you were
talking up Rook Aurora.
Yeah, you
Rook
were.
Aurora.
I remember. I couldn't even pronounce his name.
That guy would be a much better pick. Tavondre Sweat, Braden Fisk, Cooper DeJean.
Man, that was the pick.
Kool-Aid McKinstry's been a good starting corner. Kamari Lassiter for Houston has been an excellent starting corner. Edgerrin Cooper's a really good linebacker for Green Bay. I mean, these guys all came next in the next 20 picks of the next 15 picks after Pearsall. So I don't know. Their feel is questionable. I won't say that they don't know what they're doing, but let's just say their overall feel for it is not good. And unfortunately, this is exactly why they have fallen behind the teams in their division. I mean, the Rams, Les Snead has, and then as that game started the other night, what did we see? We see Rashid Shaheed, 95-yard return. Well,
mid-season trade.
That was a mid-season trade. And guess who John Schneider's mid-season trade was the year before that? It was Leonard Williams. And guess who their mid-season trade was the year before that? It was Julian Love. And guess what? Those are all foundation piece players. And what did they give? People are like, well, hey, you know what? I don't blame. People play this game like this all or nothing game. Like the only trade you could make, you'd have to give away all your high picks. So I've heard people say, I wouldn't give away all my high picks for a player at the trade deadline. That wasn't smart. John Schneider didn't give away all his high picks. He gave away a 4th and a 5th round, 2 day 3 picks for the all-pro return man in Shaheed. And then
what is Shaheed? They beat us on the first play with him.
Right. 95 yards. You telling me the Niners couldn't have used 4-3 Shaheed?
Yeah.
They're super slow. They're super slow weapons. They couldn't use a 4-3 receiver.
Do you know what we did? We got Ricky Pearsall last year, and did you see what he posted on? This really bugged me. Did you see what he posted on his Instagram the other day?
No, but I saw that John Chapman said something about him, and he put like a thing like he was taking notes.
He kept the receipts on it. Like
keeping receipts. Keep your receipts, bro. You freaking stink. You can't stay healthy at all.
I know.
At all.
So let me say, Larry. So then I don't know if this post he made was after the John Chapman thing or before, but he posted this yesterday when all the news was dropping and stuff. It was his, final post of the season. Year 2, grateful for every moment and all the people a part of it. Prayer hands. Okay, that's great. He should have left it at that. Year 2, grateful. He goes on to say, coming back different. Oh, the little mean emoji, and then. Okay, I was okay with that. Like coming back different. Okay, get some energy.
Yeah, coming back with the Jaguars.
Then he puts
coming back different.
Keep that same energy with the writing thing. He's like, so he's telling everybody that's down to keep that same energy on me. I'm coming back different. Like, yo, you can't be talking right now because you cannot stay healthy. Like, I think he's good when he's on the field, but you ain't never on the field. And then all that talking and riffraff. Final game of the season, 2 targets, no catches, no yards. Like, come on, man. Ricky Pearsall.
Your team needed you. You were nowhere to be found. Notes. I'm taking notes. Here's what I'm going to write down. No fucking impact. No fucking touchdowns. No fucking value for the first round. Here, I'm making notes to myself. Here's a note. Trade his fucking ass.
Oh, man.
I'm sick of him. I'm sick of the happiness. I'm sick of the joy. Get lost. Find a new home. Trade that guy. Wow. If I could get Brian Thomas for him in a heartbeat, I just move him.
What about AJ Brown? You want AJ Brown?
Yes, AJ Brown. AJ Brown's 10 times the receiver Ricky Pearsall is. AJ Brown. Yes.
Someone said Pearsall needs PEDs.
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you're taking notes because what people are criticizing you, play, produce. You're a first round draft choice. It's the NFL. Sorry. We noticed. There's expectations.
Mm.
Sorry. I mean, it's just this whole, maybe he needs more. Maybe this is what he needs. Maybe we just need to just verbally
Bully him.
accost him.
Bullying works. I guarantee you.
Maybe we just need to absolutely just pound him verbally until he's just like, hey, you know what? I'm miserable here. I think it's time for me to start fucking playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot, this I'm taking notes on people criticizing me. How about play ball and nobody will criticize you at all? Score a touchdown, make a play, help your team. You're supposed to be the leader. You're a first-round draft choice. You have no impact at all. None.
It's bad.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
It's not good.
So I'd send him packing. I would absolutely send him packing because he's always going to be the same thing. When he plays well, oh, look at Ricky. Ricky looks great. But then he's going to take a hit and he's going to get hurt. He's not as physical as Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua can take hit after hit after hit after hit. The best ability is availability, and Ricky's not available. Yeah. So it's just as simple as that. And if he wants to write down that Larry Kreuger was upset and this and that, take receipts and all that, fine, dude. Take all your receipts all you want. Keep all your receipts all you want. Produce. You want me to shut up and say nice things about you? Produce.
Woo!
Produce. It's not that complicated either. And it's not like it's like I've got some personal vendetta against this guy. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't produce. He doesn't play. He doesn't make catches. He doesn't score touchdowns. He doesn't score. He doesn't do anything.
He does that. Larry.
It's time to move on. It's time to move on. My God. And how does a guy like that even look Juwan Jennings in the eye? Juwan Jennings is taking crushing hits to his ribs from Jalen Carter, throwing touchdown passes while playing while hurt, and you're sitting out 10 games with a PCL that never got any better. I mean, it's just bad. It's bad. So if he wants to take notes, here, take this down. Kreuger doesn't believe in you and wants you traded.
Wow.
That's how I feel about it. Trade away Ricky. Note to self, fucked up taking Ricky. Trade Ricky away.
Yeah.
Awful. And there's so many people that want to just kiss up to him. Why? Because he's a pleasant guy to be around.
He's a good guy. He got shot, and I know, I get it, and I feel so bad he got shot. But everybody still will say, "Oh, well, he got shot." That was 2 years ago now. He didn't get shot this year, and he missed a lot of games. That's all I'm gonna say. And I love the fact that he was able to come back. He's a warrior. I get all that. That was last year, Larry, not this year.
And it's like, you know what? Stop blaming the people that are noticing that you're not producing. Now, how about instead of blaming us for noticing that you're not producing, how about blame yourself for not producing?
Facts.
When I have a bad stream, I don't blame Raj. I don't sit there and be like, you know what? Raj just didn't put me in the right mood. I blame Raj. I blame the audience. The chat didn't have me in the right frame of mind. It's not me that sucks. It's the chat. They don't understand me.
Can you imagine you say that to them?
Could you imagine that?
You'd go from 2,000 viewers to 100. They'd be like, all right, F you, Larry. F you, boo, dude.
Dude, I'm great. Raj is keeping me down and the chat fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's my fault.
It's all the chat. Oh, my God.
What do you think, chat?
Look at this one. It's always the chat.
Always.
God dang chat. Anyway, I'm just, what can I say? It's just,
you need a hug or something, Larry. It's been
someone in here is like, Larry needs a Snickers.
You do. You're really down. You know what? It's because you flew all the way down and you were there and you saw it from the jump. It makes it worse. It makes the loss worse. I get it.
God, by the way, I was at Walgreens today and I was kind of in a rush. I was trying to get something and get out the door. And this woman goes in front of me and she's like, "Can I go in front of you?" And I'm like, sure. I mean, I don't know why. I only had one item. I was getting a gum. It wasn't like I had a grocery list. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, sister. You go ahead. You're after you, Queen Elizabeth, right? You know, seriously. I was like, what? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. She puts down 2 Snickers bars. The guy gives her the price. And now she's like, but I thought it was 2 for 1. And
Oh
he's
no.
like, yeah, but ma'am, you have the share size. Those were 2 for 1 in the smaller size. And she's like, well, I don't have enough cash to pay for the. So now we're playing let's make a deal because she got a
Oh.
Snickers that was too big and then she wanted the deal. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like 30 seconds from just paying for this with cash.
Yeah.
My time means more than your savings on these Snickers. I could not
I would have
believe
just
it.
said, "Here, I'm paying for it. This is on Pig in a Pickle. Get the fuck out of here."
I seriously, I was this close. I was this close to big leaguing her and just being like, look, just take your freaking candy bars, put it on my tab, just get her out of my face.
You're not in a good mood since Saturday.
Anyway, no, dude. I had a great time in Seattle. Great time in Seattle. Awesome city. It was really good. That stadium is awesome.
I
Lumen
heard it.
Field.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
heard it's a good
god, dude.
experience.
That thing blows. The blows away Levi's. Oh, I mean, I like Levi's. This thing is way better. Way
Levi's,
better.
kidding me? I hate Levi's is terrible compared to.
But
I've been
Levi's
to,
is comfortable as far as it's big, it's wide, it's the core. You know,
it's a bad stadium. I'm not
you
gonna
don't
for a
like it.
modern stadium. Levi's is not good. I've been to a
Well,
couple
I mean, I
stadiums.
liked it. I like Levi's better than the Link. Did you know where the
No,
Eagles
I
were?
like CenturyLink. I like it. It was
You like
different.
the Link?
Because
I
Link
think
is
Levi's was
old
better
though.
than the Link, but I thought Lumen was better than Levi's.
Lumen's is supposed to be nice. I haven't been, but I don't know. Levi's is just nah. It's not good.
It's a football stadium. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but
It's not that great.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not. So that's my big complaint is that, it's like there's the 49ers they're a ways away. It feels like they're a ways away. I feel like Shanahan's just going to be like loyal to Lynch. They're going to be loyal to each other, but then Shanahan, which is good, I guess, but in reality, if you said to me, fix the Niners, like Jed came to you and said, hey, you follow the Niners, you know the Niners, fix it. What would you do? This is what I would do. I would give John like $1 million raise and make him like the president. And then I would go hire a really top tier young director of college scouting, and I would make him the boss.
Yeah.
Even though he's the young guy, even though Shanahan's the head coach, I would say this guy, Shanahan, you can tell him all you want about what you want in prospects and this and that, but he's picking the guys. This is the guy making the picks. And that's what I would do. I would try it for the next couple of years and see if, I think Shanahan's a great play caller. I think his personnel acumen is just kind of hit and miss. I think John's a great leader, but I think his personnel acumen's a little hit and miss. I think they're leaning on an organization, and when you incorporate 19 analytics guys and all these scouts, and then your personnel, you've got a cast of 50, 60, 70 people having a say on this thing. And it's too many people. It's not streamlined. You're not going to have that guy who's got a great year, who just had that class down, who nailed pick after pick after pick after pick. And that's what they got to do. They have to hit like 5 or 6 picks in a row with big time guys. And so that's what I would do. And I would make Shanahan, even if I got to give him a little bit of an extension and a little bit extra cash, if I was Jed, I would pay Shanahan and pay Lynch a little bit of extra money if they will feel good about me taking the power of the personnel away from them and give it to somebody who's better at doing it than them. And I know that sounds controversial, and I know John would bristle at that, and I know Kyle would bristle at that, and I know, but there's got to be some amount of money that they could throw those guys that they would be okay with it. It's like, hey, Kyle, here's an extra $3 million. Be okay with the fact that you're not picking players anymore. Hey, John, here's an extra $2.5 million. Represent us well like you always do and have a say in what we're doing, but you don't have the final say on the personnel. We want to bring in, a Brian Gutekunst type of somebody who's got a really strong track record, who's really highly thought of. I mean, I don't know the name of that guy right now, but if you gave me a day to figure it out, I could probably figure out who 3 or 4 top tier director of college scoutings were around this league, and hire that guy and empower that guy. I'd either do that, or I'd say, John, Kyle, we'll keep the same regime, same structure, but I'm bringing in for an extra 500 grand. I'm going to bring in a John Dorsey, a veteran drafter who's had success in Detroit and Cleveland and Kansas City and other places. And we're going to bring him in, and he's going to give us his thoughts on the draft as well. And you're going to have to work with him. I'd give him a choice. Do you want the old scout and you've got the decision-making power and you got that old guy who's done it before? Or do you want the young up-and-coming guy and you're making more money, but you're in a non-picking player's role during the draft?
Yeah.
What do you want? You tell me. Those are your 2 options, but we're not going forward with the fucking status quo any longer because we've fallen behind Seattle. We've fallen behind LA. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Yeah. And now that we're paying our quarterback $53 million, we have to make these picks work. We can't just kind of be about it. We got to be all about it. So that would be my choice to them, or these are your choices. What do you want to do? And let's put all of our cards on the table and tell each other how we feel about each other, tell each other what we like, tell each other what we don't like. Let's be real honest and have a real honest dialogue. Let's open up the conversation and let's solve this, right? Yeah. To me, that is the best plan.
I agree, because whatever's happening right now is not working. You've been doing the same thing for years, and hey, you've done a good job, exceptional. Like, it's been some really cool years, but you didn't hit the ultimate goal. And the other thing is, I think John Lynch, he's old school, right? He's from the old school type of football, and he's a great guy. He's a hell of a player. He's a hell of a competitor, but I think he's out of touch. He's definitely out of touch with reality. With when they draft again, I just don't know what they're doing sometimes. You need a guy that knows how the game is now and the new draft picks. And I don't think they have a draft guru in that locker room or in that front office. There's nobody that just like understands the draft. They can all like certain players and certain draft picks and this and that, but none of these guys are producing. So whatever they got to do to bring in someone that knows the damn draft, knows the talent, because whoever they're using to scout these talent, these college players when they go to the games, it's not working, man. Got to get some new blood in there. And Kyle's not good at draft. The last good person that Kyle Shanahan handpicked and drafted was Deebo Samuel. He was at the Senior Bowl. He fell in love with, oh my God, I gotta have Deebo, and that was like his handpicked. But he's barely even at the combine anymore. I don't even think he's been to the.
He doesn't go
for the last 3 years. You're sending your guys who can't scout. You're sending your scouts who can't scout to the combine, and they're drafting players like, oh yeah, Kyle, we liked Jacob Cowing. He looked great. And then he doesn't play this year. So like that's literally what's happened. You're sending a couple guys, don't know what they're looking at. Oh yeah, Jordan Watkins, he looks great. Let's go tell Kyle, we gotta draft Jordan Watkins. Okay, play the man. Oh, we like so and so. That's what's happening. Go to the damn combine yourself, Kyle. Go to the combine.
Not only that, I mean, it's like, I want to have somebody running this thing that I don't want somebody who's super functional and super balanced. I want somebody who's in the cave, who just, hasn't seen sun in 2 months, and
you'll get you. So you need to get yourself in there, Larry.
Seriously, I got to get myself in there. I'm looking like hell right now. No, but I'm just saying, no, I don't want somebody who's balanced and healthy. I want somebody who's all about it. Like, this is their life. Like they are all wrapped up in the draft, and only the draft. And you got to hit. I mean, you just got to hit, and they've got to hit this thing. I mean, you don't got forever. So, it's like, yeah, could you resist Jed? I mean, look at it this way. You can push back on Jed. Like, let's say Jed had that idea. Hey, we're going to bring in a veteran consultant, or we're going to, bring in a young guy and let him make the calls. You only really have, I mean, whether you and I want to give a year or not, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, I can't imagine it's more than 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I would say they probably have at least 2 more years, but they might not have more than 2 or 3 more years. So eventually, the bill's going to come due. It did on Andy Reid in Philly. It did on John Harbaugh. It did on Mike Tomlin. Eventually, you're going to have to. The bill's coming due. So I would just say to them, hey, look, you only have, let's say, 2 or 3 more bites of the apple. So what do you want to do? You want to tell me to go screw myself if I'm Jed and do it your own way? Okay, but guess what? Your own way hasn't worked. And you've got a couple more years of doing it that way, and then you're going to lose your job. So do you want to do it your way? I guess you could go out saying, well, we did it our way. Or do you want to be open-minded to a new approach and maybe do it better? Because you may only have 2 or 3 more bites of the apple, and you better figure out what's going to work,
Yeah.
And I just got to think that, yeah, everybody wants to do it themselves, but at the end of the day, you'd rather get it done. I mean, they're already doing a group project. They're already using analytics people and assistant coaches and scouts. It's already kind of a combination of opinions that formulate their draft opinions. So it's not like it's one guy and you're insulting him by saying, hey, look, it's been all you and you suck, so now you're out. It's always been this consensus. All I'm saying is let's do a consensus that's a little tighter and not so many cooks in the kitchen, and maybe just one voice or 2 voices, and let's get this thing going.
Yeah.
I'm just so disgusted watching them draft wasted picks year after year after year. Watching
Horrible.
John Schneider sign guys after the draft that I was like, man, the Niners ought to go after that guy. I mean, the one that killed me this year was the Niners badly needed a drive blocking center.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite drive blocking center was Willie Lampkin.
I know it.
I was calling for him in the 7th round. Instead, they listened to their goddamn special teams coach, whose son happened to play for Montana State, who told him that Junior Bergen was great. And so instead of listening to their scouts, and they listened to their special teams coach, and they drafted a return guy who doesn't have a prayer of being an NFL returner. No special traits, no special size, quickness, speed, none of it. Not special at all.
No.
And you took that guy with one of your draft picks, and Willie Lampkin winds up on the Philadelphia Eagles after going to the Rams. And this guy's going to have a career. And, it's like, and you badly need a drive blocking center. And did you take him? No, you took a return man who's FCS level. I mean,
and they've taken so many bad picks. TDP, Sermon, like the list goes on. We sit here, we listen a few earlier, Latu. They just don't know how to draft, man. And it's frustrating because these are the players that you're supposed to utilize to, build your team. So it's like, okay, George Kittle, right? Toward the Achilles, it was horrible. So you had Braden Willis. He's a horrible player on this team. Like you're wasting your picks on.
They gave him the gold helmet designation, which is their designation for special players. Yeah. And now they're so paranoid about how crappy they're doing that they won't even tell us anymore who the gold helmet designation players are, because they don't want us to know who they really liked.
Go get a guy that can draft. Like John Lynch can't draft, man. He can't draft. Honestly, it's bad. And it's also maddening because you got the Rams and the Seahawks. They've lapped you guys so many years. Niners have finished 4th and 3rd in the division over the last years. And then you got Mike McDonald. He's been on this Seattle team. Was his 2nd year now as a coach. This man is Kyle Shanahan's freaking kryptonite. This man, Kyle, scored 3 points, then 6 points in back-to-back weeks. He's supposed to be the offensive guru. This man, Mike McDonald, just dog walked him. If I'm Kyle, I am so upset. My pride is hurting. I am going to get in the offseason lab and do everything I can to come back and piss all over Mike McDonald, because that man just embarrassed Kyle back-to-back weeks, man. It was embarrassing. 3 points, 6 points. Unbelievable, man. Kyle needs to do whatever he needs to do to build this roster so he does not get embarrassed by the Seahawks anymore.
Well, Mike McDonald doesn't draft. He doesn't draft at all. He leaves it to John Schneider.
He leaves it to Schneider, and Schneider goes crazy over there.
Schneider right now is on top. By the way, we are brought to you by Sleeper. 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions do apply. All right, let's put together our Sleeper lineup. We'll go Rams, Seahawks.
Okay.
Who do you like here? Give me K9. Give me K9. The way he's playing right now, there's no Charbonnet. So I think K9's numbers could really explode here. I'll take K9 on the anytime touchdown.
Anytime tutty? Yeah, I think that's anytime tutty. He had 3.
Yeah, they're running it on the goal line and they're running it well. So
what you got to do?
I like that right there.
That's a good pick. I like that pick.
Who else do you like?
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua.
That guy's gonna go crazy on
how many receptions?
Game.
Ooh, God, gotta go 8 receptions.
I'll take the anytime tutty on him also.
Okay,
I think
give us the touchdown on Puka.
Gotta go Puka.
Let's see Stafford. What's Stafford's got? Now I kind of like. I like Stafford to throw a pick.
I was gonna say anytime pick. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You read my mind, Larry.
Yeah, Stafford. Seattle's too fast. You know, and he's going to throw a pick.
And Stafford's been throwing picks. He's been lobbing them up.
All right, so give me Darnold too. I think Darnold is going to be. I think it's going to be more of the same from last week for Darnold.
Oh, Darnold's going to throw a pick too.
Well, no, I'm not saying pick, but I think his numbers are going to be lower because
he's handing off. Yeah, because he had to.
Because they're managing him. He's like their version of Jimmy G.
Yeah.
So what is that? That 30.5 is what? That's pass attempts?
Yeah. 30.
Give me under.
Under on that. Okay.
Yeah, I would say he's not going to pass it 30 times.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what that looks like.
What we got?
Let's see what we're looking at.
Water into wine.
So we're going to bet $10 on this to win 92-40. So we need Stafford to throw a pick, Puka to score a touchdown, Darnold to have less than 30 pass attempts, and K9 for a touchdown. If that wins, our $10 turns into $92.40. I love it. I
think that's a good one. I think that's a win.
Once again, get 100% match up to $100. Use code Larry. Do not forget to use code Larry. Thanks to Sleeper for being a proud sponsor of the Kreuger Show. And we really appreciate Sleeper. Sleeper's done a great job for us this year. All right, let's hit our supers, and then we'll bolt for the door. We got this one. Of course, our supers are brought to you by Habas Law. 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right. Habas Law. You know, if you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. That's Habas Law. 1-800-INJURED. Visit habaslaw.com on the web. HABBAS law.com. They will fight to make it right. Habas Law. They're fantastic. You know, when you go up against tough insurance companies, the ones that, you know, stall and deny and hope that you're going to give up, and they don't blink. Habas Law doesn't blink. They grind them down. They expose their weaknesses. Habas Law hits with strategy, pressure, relentless preparation, because Habas Law knows every inch of the Bay Area legal playing field. Nothing catches Habas off guard. If you've been injured and you want to win, there's only one call to make. 1-800-INJURED. habaslaw.com on the web. Habas Law. They will fight to make it right. All right. We will fight to get through these supers in a short amount of time. All right, but we will go speed round on the supers because when Raj and I get together, they just come out of the woodwork. 25 supers.
Woo!
Right. I know. We got a lot of supers here, Raj. You're popular.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It might be one of the most we've had in a few weeks. PWS West Coast says, I heard there's a possibility Kittle might be back week 1. Imagine him and Kyle Pitts in this offense. Also, I think Saleh joins the Titans to face Liam Cohn 2 times a year. Man, Liam Cohn better hope he never runs into Robert Saleh outside the stadium, because otherwise Liam Cohn's going to get tuned up. He's going to need that. He's going to need his friends in the media to be there for him. He's going to need that lady who loves him so much to call the police.
Oh.
because Robert Saleh would just absolutely destroy Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen seems like the kind of guy who would just get his butt kicked, like just routinely. But yeah, I don't, Raj, this is an Achilles, and yes, it was up high, and George is thinking positive thoughts. What's a realistic return date for George?
9 to 12 months. So I think mid-season. I think that's a November-ish. I know he wants to be there earlier. He's optimistic, and he's going to heal fast. He's going to train like Warner. He's going to be in the hyperbaric. He's probably going to do all that stuff. But at the same time, Kittle, 33, he's had a multitude of injuries over his career: ankle, groin, hamstring, all these things. They add up. I think if he wants to play it smart and keep his career going a little bit longer, he's got to listen to himself and not push it forward. I think midseason is probably going to be the way to go. But yeah, I get it. There's a lot of optimism. I don't see him coming back until midseason.
CMC, we got this one from X-Man 095. CMC and B-Rob should have been used like K9 and Charbonnet. Not sure what Kyle has against split carries. He doesn't have anything against it. He used to split them up with Jeff Wilson and Mostert. He just is all CMC all the time. I mean, in the biggest moments, he just was all CMC. In that Philly game, B-Rob didn't touch the ball at all.
Yeah. It's weird.
So, I mean, we know Kyle loves CMC, but the bottom line is they overuse CMC, and then he's not the same player in the playoffs that he was in September and October.
Correct.
I don't know why it's so hard to figure out.
He was having shoulder and neck problems in that game, and it was like, you could just see like all the after effects of the season started catching him up, and B-Rob's chilling. He's going to be a free agent this offseason. He's definitely not coming back to that. He's 100% not coming back.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
He's gone.
John Muniz, they need to fire the whole strength and conditioning staff ASAP. Really? Even that little buff, bald guy on the sidelines?
Dustin Terry?
Always looks like he wants to kick everybody's ass.
Get them all out of there.
Who is that little miniature guy who's jacked up and he's bald and he's like more passionate than every coach and player put together. It's always the strength and conditioning guy that's always like super passionate. Have you noticed that? You don't want it like I want it. That was I can remember the guy from the gym saying that to me. I said, bro, nobody wants it like you want it. Fawcett 925. 49ers are closer to the Cardinals than they are to the Rams and Seahawks.
Oh
God.
That's
probably true.
Probably a true statement.
Viagra specialist. It's how fitting that he's light blue there. Larry, honestly, do the 49ers go hard in the offseason?
To get some Viagra.
Wow. Hadn't really drawn that correlation, but there you go. Thanks for that. Baby Radiance, Niners offense is old. We need a big change ASAP. Oh, I know. I mean, seriously, this offense could be horrid if they don't just find some big time players this offseason. I mean, what do you got? You got nothing. The cupboard is bare. I mean, the weapons, this team is this, people would say, Krug, you need to calm down on Lynch and the personnel department. No, I don't. No, I do not. This thing is eroded from the inside. The Niners' talent is eroded. They had the best linebacking core. Their linebackers suck. They have the best wide receivers. Their wide receivers stink. Their offensive line needs to be rebuilt. They have no war daddies in the middle on the D-line. Their linebackers are non-existent. Joseph Ehrenberg, we are cooked. The next couple of seasons need 3 drafts. What you need is you need to really hit. You need to really hit and get some great players. Your great players will change this trajectory, but they're hard to find, and you have to be able to find them. Viagra specialists, if they don't hit on picks 2 years, then Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are gone. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like they could tell Jed, hey, Jed, get lost. We're not interested in your bring in John Dorsey. We're not interested in changing our titles. We're not interested in changing structure. They could rebuff him and do it their way, but then they got 2 years. And things could get ugly because the talent is not great. So, I mean, they got 2 years. You're going to keep doing what you've been doing, or you're going to change. PWS, where would the Niners 2012 O-line rank in today's NFL? Would they rank 6, 7? LOL. 2012, is that what? Yapati and Anthony Davis and those guys? Jonathan Goodwin? Is that what he's referring to? not McGlinchey, but Alex Boone, the Boonster, Staley. Is that who he's referring to?
Yeah. He got a joke. He did a 6'7" joke on you. 6'7".
Oh God.
You don't know 6'7".
No, I don't know my 6'7".
Over the head. Next comment. He got you.
Jesus, enough of that. God, you guys are you're little freaky. Viagra special. Scary how these guys cannot hit on most draft picks. Baby Radiance. 9 years of Kyle and no Super Bowl rings drives me crazy.
I agree.
It's funny because Jed was super happy, a couple of years ago when they almost didn't make this. They beat the Lions. They went to the Super Bowl, and he was like, "Yeah, we're just." The way he sounded, it was like it just sounded like he was just happy. He didn't care. Yeah. He doesn't really have high standards. It sounds like Jed's got low standards. I almost get the feeling watching Jed watch his kid playing catch with Tom Brady. You posted that.
Yeah.
I almost get the feeling that that's what he's into.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't care if they win or not. He just the moments, the memories. Like, cool, man. Cool.
It's the special moments with my kid playing catch with Tom Brady.
Yeah, they're gonna
win a Super Bowl.
They're driving home, like, whatever his son's name. Oh man, did you see Tom Brady was throwing you the ball? And then you got, they lost the game. They got blown out. Oh, wasn't it so sweet, son, that Tom Brady was throwing you the ball and he put his hands in his warmers, but they weren't there. Oh, it was such a sweet moment, son. But they lost the fucking game. They're not winning.
Well, that's what happens when you're a billionaire and you own your own team and stadium. It's little moments like that get you off. Oh, the Hall of Fame quarterback throwing passes to our little whatever, Antonio or whatever his kid's name is. The specialness of that. Yeah, we'll have that video forever, blankety blank. Win a fucking Super Bowl. Jesus Christ. Joseph Ernberg. This team has no future core set of players. Yeah, seriously, please help.
Core players are all hurt.
Niners should put out a want ad for somebody who knows the draft. PWS, you think the shooting had an impact on Ricky's development? God, I'm not even going to answer that. It's having an impact on my development. John Muniz, Larry, keep that same energy tomorrow at the press conference, please. Yeah, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into the room and just be like, you guys can't draft for shit. What's your plan? Yeah,
I want you to do that, Larry. Say something.
I'm not going to say that.
You're going to
I'm not going to say that.
What are you going to ask them? Seriously.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like that stupid ass lady who kissed ass to Liam Cohen. I'm just going to be like, hey, Kyle, John, keep your head up, man. Keep your head up. Don't ever get down. You're it. You're cool. Well, I'm cool. What you mean to the Bay, the 415, the 925, start throwing all these area codes out. What you mean to the 408 and the 925 and the 650 and the 415, what you guys have done to bring happiness and joy to our community. Don't be down. There's hard. Could you imagine? Do you know how many evil looks I would get from everybody if I just started?
It'll go viral, though. It'll go viral. If
I start giving them a pep talk, some jackass pep talk from some YouTube asshole like me. Could you imagine that?
Someone in the comments said Lombardi's going to do that to Brock tomorrow.
The yellow line means bad things, but the purple line means good things.
Oh,
you're moving up my chart. Oh my God.
916. Don't forget about the 916. They said.
Don't forget. What you guys have done for the 916 and the 831 and the 408. I'm just down with you guys. You guys are I just love you guys. JCNY 49er. How many years does this regime have left? Yeah, seriously. Maybe that should be the question. That would be just the unbelievable question. If you just said, hey, yeah, I got a question. How many years does this regime have left before Jed pulls the plug? If you were Jed, how many years would you have left before you would pull the plug on yourself? That would just be like, that would just be the most epic bomb of all time.
Yeah, you'd be walked out. You'd be escorted out there.
They would create some new rule that that would just somehow eliminate my credential, my access. It would just be like, we don't let people who started YouTube channels between 2022 and 2023 in. That's just the new rule the league has. Yeah. How many years? How many years left? Why not spend money on proven pros? Evans, Pitts, Dobbs, Pierce, likely. Well, because you can't do that. It's too much money. You're only going to be able to handpick a couple guys.
Yeah.
I would say Dobbs, like right now, based on what I've seen, the 49ers have to be good next year, right? There's no like, 3 years from now. No, none of that. So as much as I like receivers in the draft, I would probably prioritize Dobbs and Pierce. Give me Alec Pierce and Romeo Dobbs, and maybe I can figure out the tight end thing some other way. But rookie receivers never do squat. And you've already proven to us that you can't identify good receivers because look at all the crappy receivers you've invested in.
Yeah.
So go get Dobbs, go get Pierce, trade Ricky for Brian Thomas, and there you go.
Honestly, if they're going to fix that wide receiver room, I pray they don't use a draft pick on it because they cannot draft wide receivers at all, man. And
draft linemen.
When they do get a wide receiver in the draft, they don't even use them. The only one they used ever was Debo, and then Ayuk a little bit, and then he fucking turned into a basket case. So it's not good to draft these wide receivers. You got Jalen Hurd, Dante Pettis, Jacob Cowing, Danny Gray. It's just bad, man. Bad track record of drafting these.
Horrible. John Muniz, did you see the mock trade draft or trade Mac Purdy and draft pick for JJ? Would you do that? Did you see mock trade Mac?
I think 49ers 247 posted some.
You're trading Mac and Purdy?
No, it was like Mac or Purdy with the draft pick for Justin. I don't know, something weird. It's something weird.
Well, I mean, does Minnesota need a quarterback? And they have the Michigan kid. I mean, they're not trading Purdy. That all this talk about trading Purdy, they're not trading Purdy. They're trading Mac Jones. And I like Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is going to be a really good player.
He's going to be a good starter somewhere, yeah.
He is.
I'm praying for him.
Yeah, he's a good player.
He had a really good presser yesterday. I liked all his questions and answers, and he's a good guy, man.
He's a dude, man. He's absolutely a dude. You know what I wanted to ask him? I thought, I'm like, I don't have a good enough relationship with him, but I was trying to see if maybe I could get him to reenact that emoji or that GIF that he has with the,
Oh yeah, where he like comes up on the guy.
Yeah. And the look too. The look.
That was like in the moment. That was just so good.
I know that was so good.
So good, Larry. Someone in the comments said that you should just stand up tomorrow and start reading all the draft busts. Like just stand up and start reading. Oh, can you imagine? He stood up. Dante Pettis, Reuben Foster. You just screaming at the top of your lungs.
Hey, I just have one question for you guys. Solomon Thomas, Akella Witherspoon, C.J. Beathard, Joe Williams, Mike McGlinchey, Dante Pettis, Tarvarius Moore, Jalen Hurd, Mish Wishnowski. Is there a question coming? Yeah, almost. Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas, Drake Jackson, Ty Davis Price, Danny Gray. Is there a question coming? Yes, there is. Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cam Lott. You're going to have to ask your question. Ricky Pearsall, Bernardo Green. Oh, here's my question. Why? Name all those guys. What's your question? Why? Just why? That would just be awesome. Seriously. Here's the only question there. Would some PR lackey put his hands on me before I got through the list? Would somebody try to actually put their hands on my person, or would I be allowed to finish that list?
They'd probably shut it down. They'd finally realize, what is he doing? Oh my God. Maybe they realize, God, we suck at drafting. We suck.
Yeah. Seriously.
Why?
Why? Mendez, Larry, I don't think Gus Bradley is going to be a good option. Just look at his numbers with the Colts, 29th in yards, 24th in points in 2024.
Mm.
Yeah, but, it's also about talent. You got to have talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gus is a pretty damn good defensive coach. I really do.
You think he's the guy that they're going to hire?
Yeah, I do, because I think that's the plan. I mean, if they may go away from the plan, but I think that was the plan originally. Is have Gus be, so they had continuity, right? So I don't think they want to have so many new faces every year. JC says bring in Flores, blitz, chaos, D, change something up. Okay, I mean, it sounds good, but I mean, is it going to work? Yeah, to me, it's more. I'm not. The one thing I won't do is I won't get super exercised and excited about coaching hires, because I'm a players guy. I'm a personnel guy. I believe in players. I don't believe in coaches. I think coaches are great. Don't get me wrong, but I believe in players. And I really think that you have to have players. Now, if you have an awesome coach, he can cover you for not having players. We saw it this year with Robert Saleh, but it's a short-term deal, dude. It's not like he can fix you forever. He might be able to fool somebody for a week, 2 weeks, 3. Eventually, you got to have talent. You got to have players. Titus Moeller, Debo played heavily as a rookie. Was that sort of a fluke, or did it illustrate that Kyle will play rookie wide receivers if they're simply good enough? Yeah, I don't buy. That's another thing I don't buy. I don't buy Kyle will never play them. I don't buy that. Now, that's a Steve Kerr thing. You can make that argument about Steve Kerr, and I think it's probably fair. I don't think it's fair, because I think Kyle showed this year. Upton Stout played a ton. CJ West played a ton. Alfred Collins played a ton. It's just a matter of
receivers. I think he makes a good point. I think
wide receivers. Here's the difference. I asked Kyle about this. The wide receivers in college, this is what it takes to play wide receiver in college. You see that? Yeah, we're holding up the manila card. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, we're holding up the gray card. The level of complexity between a college receiver and a pro receiver is so night and day that I understand why rookie receivers don't play a lot for Kyle, or for anybody really. It's hard to find rookie receivers. Heck, Jerry Rice wasn't that great as a rookie. And he's the greatest of all time. So for every Randy Moss that's awesome as a rookie, Jamar Chase was awesome as a rookie. That's the exception. The rule is that rookies struggle because of it's so much more involved. It's so much more. You have to think, and you can't just play free. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
I agree, but I will say this: when Debo came, I think there's 2 reasons. So they didn't have a lot of talent. They desperately needed a wide receiver. Like, they had nothing, and Debo was like this injection of energy, and it was like, oh wow, he's different. And B, Kyle Shanahan handpicked it. Like, Kyle wanted this guy the moment he laid eyes on him. When he went to that Senior Bowl and he saw
Debo, coached at the Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah, he coached them. They were boys, dude. They got a really good relationship, and I think they really hit it off. And I think at that moment, Kyle was like, this is my guy. And I think he promised them, hey, if you come to the Niners, we're going to feature you on this team. And if you look at Kyle's offense, it was really built around Debo for a long time. Like, he was that guy that, wing motion and all this stupid, window dressing stuff that he did. And Mike McDaniel was there. They would do all this stuff, shift the tight end, shift the receiver, shift this guy. And Debo worked in that offense. And it was like, oh, wow, we got something here. So I think it was a different he just came out at the right time. Now, Kyle don't trust these wide receivers, these rookie. You don't trust them. But you're right, because it is a very complex offensive system. I'll give you that.
Well, and also, you see the way Brock plays. I mean, Brock is throwing to a spot, and you better fucking be in that spot. Agreed. And if you're not in that spot, then the whole place is all screwed up. So it's not necessarily about your 40 time or your explosiveness. It's about your reliability and your steps and your route running and how precise you are. And so, there's a lot that goes into it. Let's just say that. Tyler says Dieter Kurtenbach said that it will be a very lazy hire if they hire Gus Bradley as the new DC. Gus Bradley wasn't a good DC with the Colts. Well, he's entitled to that opinion, but this was the plan when they brought Saleh back, was to bring Saleh back, know that he's going elsewhere and have Gus Bradley. So if you want to abort the plan, that's fine. I is it a better plan to go with Raheem Morris, who's sucked a couple times as a head coach? Is that a better plan? Is it a better plan to go with Schwartz because he's a wide 9 guy? Is it a better plan to go with some people have suggested KJ Wright? KJ Wright's never coordinated anything. Gus Bradley's been a coordinator and a head coach. Would Dieter say that KJ Wright was a terrible hire? Or would he say, oh, that's a great hire? And yet KJ Wright's got no experience. So, I mean, I'll say this. It's not a lazy hire. Gus Bradley is got a better resume than all those other guys. I mean, that's the truth. Gus Bradley is really, really a respected guy who's been a coordinator. He's been a coordinator for multiple teams, multiple years. He created the whole Legion of Boom. Supposedly he's a great personnel evaluator. They drafted Cam Chancellor. They drafted Earl Thomas. They added Brandon Browner, Richard Sherman in the 5th round. So I don't know. I like Gus Bradley. To me, if you get Gus Bradley, you're fine. You're fine. I don't think that is Schwartz maybe better. Maybe would Buffalo's head coach who just got fired, would he be better? Maybe. But to me, they have so many issues that are so more prevalent and so much more impactful than Gus Bradley that to filibuster on Bradley is asinine, because what about all this other stuff? I mean, they've missed 10 times in the 3rd round. They've missed 18 times in the first 3 rounds under this regime. And you're going to complain about Gus Bradley?
They have missed on draft picks, Larry, but I will say this is an important pick because you can't go from what Robert Saleh did, and I get it. Bradley was there.
Let's not pretend he's Sorensen, though. I mean, I get
this. I know. I'm not saying he's way better in story. He's not bad, but he's also a little older, so maybe he's not with the times. You know what I mean?
He's 58.
He's a little okay. Maybe.
How old? How old do you think?
I thought he was older than that. But listen, I want Raheem Morris. That's what I want. Him and Kyle are bros. I think that'd be a good relationship. And also, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Raheem would coach better with this team. I don't know. Gus Bradley, to me.
Raheem Morris, though, is a defensive coach, right?
As a defense, he was great with the Rams. He was great as a DC.
But with Atlanta, the Niners gutted his defense, and then they sent him into a tailspin, which cost him his job.
But the last couple of games, they won what, like 6? They won a crazy streak to finish the season. He kind of rebounded.
Didn't they lose like 4 in a row after the Niner game? And didn't the Niners
just?
They had the same ball against any defense, but can run it at will against his defense.
I think Raheem Morris would be a good pickup, but that's just.
I mean, I'm not saying he'd be a terrible pickup, but I don't think it's not like Raheem Morris is some proven guy that's won championships as a defensive coordinator, and I just don't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but to me, the plan was to go with Bradley, and I think
I get it. And I don't think he's a bad pick. Like, I wouldn't be mad. I know a lot of people out there are like, oh my God, can't get Gus Bradley. He's a terrible hire. I think he'd be a solid hire. Like
well, look what he did this year. He was in charge of their defensive red zone, and they were 24th in defense, and they were 14th in the red zone.
Yeah.
So I think he did a good job.
Yeah, you're right. I get it.
Demo, some of the other DBs, Demo, Jair, they were like, oh man, I loved working with Gus. He knows this defense. He's got so much wisdom. So I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with Gus Bradley. My issue is more with who's making these picks. We've got this one from R Power. Can McKivitz really play center, or do you mean Pooney? No. McKivitz can play all 5 positions. McKivitz is very athletic. He can play guard. He can play center. He can play right tackle. I'm just saying, if they decided they wanted to get a big, burly, gigantic right tackle, Colton has the ability to play all the other spots. He can play anywhere.
You can move him to guard because that'd actually be good. He's great. He's versatile. And then you go and get a nasty hog molly right tackle. And at some point, Larry, and I love Trent Williams. I know he said he's coming back. You need to get the heir apparent. You got to get a guy, man. You got to do it.
I know. The guy that I liked in this last draft was Anthony Belton, who went to Green Bay and then wound up playing significantly for Green Bay. So we'll see. The guy I like this year is the kid from McClymonds High School in Oakland. His name's J.C. Davis. He plays for Illinois. It's going to be a day 3 pick, probably an early day 3 pick, round 4, round 5, something like that. I'd be looking all into him for sure. Titus Moeller. If the Niners offered, would you scout for them? Oh, of course. Are you kidding me? I'd scout for anybody. I'd scout for the Seahawks and to beat the Niners if they wanted to give me an opportunity.
Wow. And then you go on your YouTube channel. You fucking Niner.
Well, I'm just saying. Once upon a time, I got out of the whole scouting thing because I wanted a better life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's funny because I know people were like, "Oh, dude, if you were scouted, you would still be. If you were good at it, you'd still be doing it." I'm like, "No, dude, you don't understand. It's like it's isolated. You're on the road. It's not. It's a life for somebody who's older. It's not a. To me, it's not a. I mean, I wanted to be home and see Kev and see my other boys and I have 4 kids. I wanted to have a life. I mean, there's so many of these people in football, their lives are ruined. Their family life is strained, and it's just there's a price that's paid for being away 120 hours a week. So I didn't want that. I chose what I chose, and I'm happy with what I chose. And I've raised my family and I've enjoyed it. But yeah, now that my family is older and I'm passionate about seeing the Niners get that 6th ring, absolutely. If they said, "Hey, would you help us on the side?" I'd be like, absolutely.
You go to the
I
dark
want
side?
to win. I want to see them win. And I'm passionate about it. JC and New York says, Denver fired Fox for Kubiak and won. Change can work. Fox. Is that John Fox for Gary Kubiak? Is that what he's talking about?
I think that's what he's
way back when. It's kind of a deep pull.
In the day.
Yeah,
that's an old pull. That's a pull right there.
That's a pull. Yeah, John Muniz says, speak on that idea in press conference tomorrow. Oh, which idea is he talking about?
You got a couple of them. Stand up and read the list. Stand up and read that list, Larry. I want you to stand up and say, "Yeah, I got a couple things." Solomon Thomas, and just sing the gospel of their draft picks.
And is there a question? Why? Just why?
Drop the mic, Larry. I want to see if I get that tomorrow. That's going so viral. Oh, fuck.
Oh, dude. Here's my thing too. I never want to embarrass anybody. I don't want to embarrass, like if you see me interview guys in the locker room, I never go for the question that's going to embarrass anybody. I don't want to embarrass anybody. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
There was a question the other day to, I can't remember who asked the question. It was to Demo. They set him up for that soundbite. They asked him, like, the way it came out, it made him sound really bad. It was where he basically said they would have steamrolled or what. It would have been a landslide.
Oh, I went off on that. The
way the question was framed, I was like, "Oh, they set him up for a soundbite, dude." And it was.
Would you guys have been more? What was it like? Would you guys have won this game if you had been healthy? Kind of a thing.
Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, it would have been a landslide." I was like, "Okay."
I know. I went off on that the other night. I was like, come on, bro. You can't say that. You cannot say it would be a landslide.
Yeah, dude, I love
Lenore. But you know what? I understand why he said that, because corners have to feel like their S doesn't stink, that they're on top of the world. You show me a great corner, and I'll show you a big talking, big attitude, big, confidence.
They got to have that because they got to match up with wide receivers who are just the same. It's wide receivers and corners are the yappers of the league. That's it.
If you walk into a room and you talk to a corner and he's warm and normal, that's not the guy.
He ain't right, yeah.
If you walk into a room and you're like, this guy is a cocky son of a bitch, draft him. That's your guy.
Yeah, that's your guy.
That's your guy.
You want him,
All good corners. You think Deion Sanders was like, "Oh, shucks, I'm just out here trying to do what I can do"?
Oh, that man had the loudest mouth in the world.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, man, try the other side." Every great corner thinks that they are the bomb. Yeah.
You got it. That's why Lenore acts the way he does. He says, I want to play a man-to-man. He said all that stuff. That's the mentality you want out of him.
You have to have that. If you don't have that, I remember when I talked to Bob Agnew, the former program director of KMBR, and he said to me, I knew he was going to ask me this when he interviewed me. He's like, "Why should I hire you?" Right? And I knew he was going to ask me. So I said, "Oh, you should hire me because you don't have anybody like me. And if you put me on the air, I've got no sacred cows. I'm not going to cover anybody's ass. I'm gonna tell people that if you're good, I'm gonna say it. If you're bad, I'm gonna say it. I'm going to rip people. I'm going to attack." And he's like, He's like, I like that. I like that. And I asked him later, I'm like, what, how come you hired me? He's like, dude, because he's like, you were incredibly confident. And I, I don't put anybody on the air unless they're incredibly confident.
Mm.
So I'm telling you, man, sometimes you gotta have that. Sometimes you gotta have that bravado.
Yeah.
John Muniz, speak on that idea in the press conference tomorrow. Okay, we got that.
Yeah.
We got this one from Joseph Ernberg. Our wide receiver room doesn't do anything but dance. Yeah, seriously. It's like we're like solid gold dancers over here. Boxing fan ×4. This regime just can't get right. We complain about special teams being trash, but when they improve it, they kill the depth. Can never be complete on all three phases. Oh, I know. They were two. You didn't need Wallow and Luke Gifford and Curtis Robinson. You needed one special team linebacker.
They came in and they signed all special teamers in offseason. Last year's free agency was all special teams. If you really think about it, it was Brant Boyer said, "All right, give me the keys to the roster," and he just went special teams all out.
I know. And then he got all pissed at me when I said, were you given assurances when you came here that you could draft certain? He's like, I wasn't given any assurances. I didn't need any assurances.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, really? Well, how come then out of the blue, you're just the luckiest motherfucker there is, because out of the blue, you signed here and suddenly they started drafting and signing all these free agent guys. Suddenly there's Luke Gifford and Luke Farrell and all these John Weeks and a new punter and a kicker and return men. And, there was more of an investment into Brant Boyer's special teams than in Hightower and Schneider's entire regimes put together. And yet when I asked him about it, he's like, no, I wasn't given any assurances.
I'm pretty sure he was, because one of the biggest moves of the offseason was getting a new long snapper. That was crazy. You go and cut Tabor, and then you go to John Weeks. That was crazy, dude.
Yeah, John Weeks, good guy, but I mean, is he coming back?
He's like 90.
BVU says, how funny would it be if they brought Debo back? Oh, God.
They might do it. I can see Kyle. Call him up.
I could see it, too. I could see it. Propa, do you think CMC is close to Hall of Fame? I personally value peak over longevity, but he does probably need a year or two more of good production due to injuries. He's a very, very good player, borderline Hall of Famer, but yeah, I think he needs a couple more years.
Yeah, 2 more good years, but I mean, he's broken so many records, so he's up there. He's close.
I mean, he's probably well on his way. Let's just say that. Calvin Spires' first move of the offseason is to add Justin Minards. Anytime I hear Minards, it makes me think maybe that was just a make-believe.
Yeah.
BVU, we don't need another Sorensen project with KJ Wright. Okay. I know a lot of people are like, hire KJ. Well, really? What if he sucks in the middle of next year, and then you're gonna sit there and go, they hired a guy with no experience?
I think he's cool, but I don't want him to be a DC yet.
No, it's too soon. No. Armchair analysts. Reduce CMC to third down back, address the left tackle, left guard, address linebacker, address D-line depth, tight end, safety. How would you edit my priority order? Okay, that's interesting. I would say I like the idea. I don't know if I would limit CMC to a third down back, but there's no reason to not have a Thunder and Lightning, right? Mm-hmm. Go get another back for sure. The offensive line, I think, has to be addressed on the interior, center guard. I think that's vitally important. Okay. I think the linebacking core has to be addressed right away. The defensive line depth has to always be addressed. You have to have a real tight end, and I would say a veteran, because you have no Kittle. You can't just lean on a rookie.
Correct.
Safety, I think they've got some bodies there, so I'd put that probably a little lower. So the only thing I don't see here is I don't see wide receiver. And wide receiver has to be way higher on this list.
Absolutely.
You got no wide receivers. I mean, none. And it's a passing league. Yeah. So I would definitely put some wide receivers. We got this one from Tony Ugatefa. Ugatefa. Tony, if I butchered that, I apologize.
You did.
PR Scout, Larry. Well, I mean, I'm going to talk tons about the draft. They can just listen to my YouTube and decide if they think I'm right. Pick who I like. Titus Moeller, if trading for a wide receiver 1, who do you still like? Or do you still like Garrett Wilson? Yes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. G-Dub.
where's Mac Jones who's going to want Mac Jones?
I mean, Minnesota's a team.
Arizona,
Raiders. Although I know they're going to get.
Here's what I'm
thinking. Get Heisman Mendoza, but
are they? No. I've actually heard the Raiders may go for like Arvell Reese off the top of the draft.
Could be.
And then maybe they would want Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I think they're going Mendoza, right? Mendoza's probably.
I mean, dude, Tom Brady was sitting there rubbing his back basically yesterday. He was smoozing him up. Tom Brady wants Mendoza. He was basically like, "Yo, man, you're coming to the Raiders."
I'll say this. I mean, if the Cardinals want Mac Jones, how about Michael Wilson, the Stanford receiver?
Yeah.
And maybe a second-round pick, that high second.
Do it.
If it's the Raiders, how about Michael Mayer and a second-round pick?
Who else needs a quarterback?
Cleveland.
Falcons going to need one because Michael Penix is cooked and Kirk Cousins is old as dirt.
I don't know who I'd want from Atlanta. Maybe one of those young defensive linemen.
Maybe. I just hope they don't trade him I just hope that he doesn't go to the Jets. Please don't send him to the Jets, man. Don't. I feel bad. If he goes to the Jets, his career is over.
Garrett Wilson, though? I'd take Garrett Wilson back in a heartbeat.
No, but I don't want him to go to the Jets. I feel bad. Mac Jones deserves better than the Jets. He deserves better than the Jets, man.
We love you. If you love me that much, don't send me to the Jets.
Don't send him to the Jets, man.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We're an hour and 41 minutes into a stream that I said was going to go 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
Yeah, let's just say this. I've misestimated. Yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for us, Raj. Always great. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to our sponsors. For Raj, I'm Larry. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of.